We will study in this period subtraction of integers. You know, subtraction is denoted by negative sign, a dash kind. For this, you consider a number line taking 0 in the middle, and on the right side you take the positive integers 1, 2, 3 and so on, and on the left side you take negative integers negative 1, negative 2, negative 3 and so on. Now to work out subtraction of integers using number line, we set certain rules. Let us define subtraction by negative sign, and you stand on the number line facing negative. For subtraction, you stand on the number line and face negative side. Then to subtract a positive number, for example positive 2, take 2 steps forward, of course towards negative side. And likewise, to subtract negative number, negative integer, say negative 2, take 2 steps backward. Obviously, because when you are facing negative side and you take 2 steps backward, you are moving towards positive side of integer. And now, for subtraction of integers, let's take few examples. One, if we have to work out 5 minus 2, positive is not necessarily written, but here just precisely if we have to subtract a positive number, say plus 2, what you do, as we have set the rules, that you take a number line, and because it is you have to subtract 2 from 5, so you stand at 5, and as we have discussed, for subtraction face negative side, facing negative side. And because you have to subtract positive 2, positive 2 indicates that you take 2 steps forward, obviously on the negative side, 2 steps forward. So by taking 2 steps forward, where do you reach? 3. So that is your answer. Just see, that is therefore 5 minus a positive integer 2 gives you 3. So that's what is the rule, if I may repeat, that if you want to subtract, then you stand at 5, face negative side. To subtract a positive number, say 2, you take 2 steps forward, obviously on the negative side. Now next example, suppose you have to subtract minus 2. The rules will remain the same because it is a question of subtracting, and 5 minus, so you stand at 5 facing negative, and stand at 5 facing negative, and because a negative number is to be subtracted, so you take 2 steps backward, and 2 steps backward, as the arrow indicates, you have to take towards positive side. Take 2 steps backward. See where you are now. By doing so, you are at 7, and that is your answer. So it is 5 minus minus 2 equal to 7. Take one more example. Third example, suppose minus 5 from a negative integer minus gives you negative 7. Now, last example, from a negative number, negative 5, if you have to subtract negative 2, see what will happen. You stand at negative 5, subtraction means face negative side, and because you have to subtract negative number, so obviously you take 2 steps backwards, that is the rule, and you reach to negative 3. So we conclude, therefore minus 5 subtract minus 2 gives you minus 3. And now let's see, by doing all these examples, what do we conclude? The rules for subtraction of integers. Subtraction is changed to addition by changing the sign of the number to be subtracted and then apply addition rule. You already know the addition of integers. For example, 5 minus, the first example, 5 minus plus 2, you make it 5 plus and give the minus sign because the number to be subtracted is positive, make it negative 2. And then you add, what is the rule of addition? Because one number 5 is positive and the other number 2 is negative. So if one positive, one negative, you take the difference of their absolute values. So 5 minus 2 is 3, and because the greater number is 5, so you get plus 3. Now in the next example, it is 5 minus 2. And again you take the first of all, you change the middle sign to plus, and the sign inside the integer number to be subtracted also becomes positive. So you get 5 plus 2. Now what is the rule of addition of integer? That if both the numbers are positive, you just add them with the same sign. So you just add them, 5 plus 2, 7, with the same sign, so you get plus 7. Now next example, negative 5 minus subtract plus 2. So change the middle sign, change the sign of number to be subtracted, and this way you get minus 5, and the middle you make plus, the addition sign, and plus 2 change to minus 2. What do you find here? Both the numbers minus 5 and minus 2, both the numbers to be added are negative, so their absolute value, that is 5 and 7, to be added, which gives you 7, and keep the same sign. What is the sign of both of them? Negative. So what should you get? Negative 7. Yes, we get negative 7. Now finally, minus 5 minus 2, again change the middle sign of subtraction to addition and change the sign of number to be subtracted. Negative 2 will become plus 2. So that way you get negative 5 plus, and the negative 2 changes to plus 2. What do you find this time? That now it is a question of addition. One number 5 is negative, 2 is positive. So their difference is to be taken, difference of their absolute values. So 5 minus 2 gives you 3, but the negative number is greater, so it should be negative 3. So you get negative 3. Now let us take a note finally that negative of negative is a positive integer. We keep wondering, our teachers have told us that negative of negative is always positive, but why? We have already established here, see how. Refer example 2, 5 minus 2. So here negative of negative. You have already worked out 7. On the other side, using addition of integers rule, you know 7 is 5 plus 2. So can we conclude, if we cancel 5 from both sides, the left hand and extreme right hand side, so we conclude negative of negative 2 is plus 2. So negative of negative is positive. That's how we can conclude this. Thank you.